Welcome everyone to Junior and Senior Parent Night, which is college related, the good old fun time that's ahead of your junior and senior. So the purpose of this meeting is to relieve some of the senior year stress for both your senior and for you, assist you in your senior with the application process, which is quite extensive, and discuss the application procedures, transcripts, that they're requesting of those, the letters of recommendation from the teachers, scholarships, and everything pertained to the application process. And tonight we're going to talk about what I will discuss with each senior. I'm going to help them, how do I choose a college? How do I apply? How do I best use Naviance to benefit me? How do I request a transcript? The recommendation process, application essays, test scores, financial aid. What is the process for NCAA and NAIA registration if your senior is planning on or hoping to play Division I, Division II, or NAIA sports at that level? In my senior guidance meeting with your senior, we go over the graduation review with them. I go over their transcripts to make sure they have everything they need for graduation. We talk about career interests and what they hope to study in college, what they propose to do in the future, and for the most part, at least half of them have no clue. So we try to define that, and I help them make some choices through searches. We do a college planning review where they have to come up with 5 colleges that they're interested in, and then we research those together to see if they are adequate for what they think they want to study in college and what benefits the college would have for your senior. We do research application dates, meaning not every college has the same application submitting date, but we research those to make sure we're on time with all of the recommendations and applications. We go over recommendation requirements, both for the college and for guidance into their field. And then we also talk about the scholarship application process, scholarship overview. And in that time, most of my seniors will tell me, I don't need to have any money for scholarships because my parents have all my money. They have all their money that they're going to give to me and pay for college, which you and I both know probably is not true. But they do think that you're all very wealthy parents and would rather spend more money on them than anything else, like maintaining your family. So I would suggest you strongly have a meeting with your senior and you go over your financial status, because in that realm, some parents can pay for all of college, some parents have saved none. And regardless of where you are, your senior needs to know that, because when I talk about scholarships with them, most of them go, I don't need a scholarship, I got money. So it would be good if you could talk to them. I want to bring up at this time that we are hosting the Christian College Fair again for Young Life, and it will be September 23rd. It will be a requirement that all seniors and juniors attend this. It will be, hopefully, we have 2 choices right now. If we can host it inside, we will, but there's a very good likelihood that we will not be able to, and we will host it outside. Or there will be a virtual college fair. We're not positive, but I think we will be hosting it here. And it will be from 6 to 8 if it's inside. If it's outside, it will be from 3 to 5. So that will be, again, Wednesday, September 23rd. Juniors and seniors will be required to attend that. And if you do, you want to make appointments and schedule an appointment through their scheduler to see whatever college reps your son or daughter is interested in. And when we talk about how do I even choose a college, we try to narrow the search through these criteria. What major do you think you want to study? What is your field of interest? Where do you want to go to school? Do you want to be far away from home? Do you want to be on the East Coast, the West Coast, someplace warm? You want to do hockey and be in the cold Minnesota temperatures? So location is important. The size of the college is also important. What facilities do they have that interest you? And what are their admissions requirements? What is the cost? And what athletic or activities do they offer that are of interest to your son or daughter? When my husband and I raised our 4 children, we love them dearly with all of our heart, but we wanted them to go away to school. We did not want them to go in the same town. And please know I'm just telling you this story because it's what I think. It's not necessarily what you think. God chose you to be this child's parent, and so I'm going to come alongside you and help you in whatever way I can. But we made our children go. The rule was at the Radford family, you had to go 500 miles away from home. 500 miles meant they couldn't come home and do their laundry. They couldn't come home for Sunday dinner. They couldn't come home on a sad day. They had to stay at college and learn to be an adult. They had to manage their problems. They had to make decisions. They had to make, some of their decisions were not so good, and some of them were great. But through that process of 4 years, they learned to handle their own problems, think outside the box, think critically, and solve their problems, which for my husband and I was the greatest gift we could give them. If they could leave college and be able to stand on their own 2 feet, manage their money, have good grades, develop a good work ethic, and a strong sense of who they are, then we had done our job. That brings us to how do I apply? All of you parents know, senior parents, that in August I sent home 5 assignments. They had to fill out a fall survey, they had to fill out a college questionnaire, they had to do a self-assessment, they had to write their college resume, and they had to write a cover letter. All of that is a precursor to the application process. And so those have all come in, those have been proofed and handed back to the students. So my point in reviewing that with you is so that all parents know we start this process very early because we have to be finished with the application process before fall break. In doing so, I am enabling your son or daughter to be the first round of applications and hopefully be awarded the most amount of money. How do we do that? Well, we do it through the Common Application. 85% of all colleges take this application. There are some individual colleges, especially a Christian college, that will have their own application and that will require a different set of parameters than the Common Application. Most colleges will want you to do it on their website, so it's an online application. I have the students right now filling out a hard copy of the Common App. Those were turned in to me. I proofed them last night. I'm going to hand them back tomorrow, and they will have the chance to correct those before they go online and actually fill out their application online. The resume is very important because I will send that along with their application, and it is an introduction as to who they are and what they've done. Letters of recommendation are pivotal, and so once these students are given that directive to ask teachers to write a letter of recommendation, the teachers have 3 weeks to do that, and then they turn them in to me. I read them, proof them, and make sure that they are the quality recommendation that your son or daughter needs to get into the school of their choice. The application essay is extremely important because that's where the colleges will learn about your son or daughter. In the past, we've had parents write their essays for them. I'm going to ask you not to do that because colleges can pick those out right away. The purpose of the college essay is for the student to enable the college to get a glimpse of them, who they are, what they believe, what is significant in their life, and what makes them a standout applicant. And so, along with the letters of recommendation and the application essays, those are critical. So, how do I choose a college? That's a very important question. The first thing we look at for our students, for our seniors, what we're doing now, is that we're looking at application dates. So there are 4 ways that you can apply. There is early decision, there's early action, rolling, and regular decision. There are 2 others, but I'm not really going to talk about those tonight. And I'll answer questions if you have them at the end. So with the early decision, this is a contract between your child and the college. You can only apply to one university or college under early decision. Not everyone offers it, but your higher end schools do. If you are accepted under early decision, you must attend. You signed a contract with them. And it's a binding contract, you can't break it. So let me give you an example. Our daughter wanted more than anything in the world to go to Northwestern University and major in journalism. She applied under early decision. She was accepted, which meant in order to go there, she had to sign that contract. It is binding, and even though she may have gotten another acceptance with more money, she had already signed the contract to Northwestern, and it was a binding contract, so she didn't really have a choice. And many parents have said, well, what happens if you break that contract? The only way you can break a contract under early decision is if there is a financial collapse in your family or a supernatural something that prohibits them from going to that school. And I want to emphasize, if you break that contract, there is a networking among colleges, and the universities will not accept your child if you break that contract. So it's something to think about. I tell students, Don't apply under early decision unless you know without a doubt that you want that college first and foremost. And some have applied and gotten in, and it means more money in the long run. The second type is early action, and that's what all of our seniors will apply under, early action, unless they want early decision. Early action is more flexible. It tells the college, you're my number one choice, but I'm not going to be bound by a contract. So you don't have to commit to the college if you are accepted. You can apply to multiple schools. It is a non-binding contract. But early action says, I really want to go there. I really want to attend your university. And so you're going to be considered on the first round. Rolling admission is where it's like Colorado State University, that's rolling. Decisions are made as applications are received. And they have priority deadlines, which is the same as early action, but we will apply before that anyway. So rolling means that as they come in, if we apply on October 21st, they will look over and evaluate those applications before they do the other ones. So it's on a first come, first served basis, which is helpful for most students. Regular decisions, the decisions are made all at once. For example, University of Colorado has regular decision for the most part. So they don't have rolling. They don't accept them as they come in. They wait until the deadline, and then they will evaluate all of their applications at once. So early decision and early action, you will hear whether you've been accepted, denied, or waitlisted, usually before Christmas. If it's not before Christmas, it'll be right afterwards. And that's early decision, early action. Remember, those are the two best because you're going to get the most money. Rolling as they come in, but you will not get your financial award until later. And you would know probably within 4 weeks whether you've been accepted. Regular decision, you wait till the deadline. They will look at your application once they're all in and then make their decision. And that you may not know until, could be April, March or April. So those are the four main ways. There's also early action restricted, and early action non-restricted, which are two different ones, and that doesn't really apply too often to our schools. I'm going to talk about letters of recommendation now because they play such a pivotal role in the acceptance process. Each senior will be given a folder, 2 folders this week, with everything they need to give to the teacher they're going to request a letter of recommendation from. In that folder, they will have their cover letter, their resume, a copy of their self-assessment, and a copy of their college questionnaire. We do that because most of our teachers, although they're very relational and know your student well, they may not know all of the accolades or interests that your senior has, and so it's important for them to read over the information that we include in that envelope so that they can write the best letter of recommendation. They need 2 teachers, not one from an employer. Colleges don't really care about that. And it has to be 2 current and teachers from their junior or senior year. Those letters, the teachers have 3 weeks to write those letters of recommendation, and then they turn them in to me. They will load them into Naviance, but they will turn in a hard copy to me. And I will read those letters to make sure that they are exactly what the student needs to be accepted by their top choice of colleges. Once I've proofed them and given them back, teachers will load them into Naviance and they will wait for the final submit date. These letters of recommendation are extremely important, like I said in the very beginning, because they can make the difference between being accepted into a college and being rejected. Another thing that we talk about that's very important in senior capstone are the essays. Now, they will have to write 4 essays for me. Those essays will have due dates for a rough draft. They turn them in to me. I will proof each one, as I have a degree in English as well. So I proof each one and give them back to the student. They have to rewrite it and make the corrections and then turn it in for a final copy. Once that's done and they get their final copy done, they will load it into Naviance and wait until the submit date. These essays, statistics show that if a senior writes a great essay, that can overcome a lower GPA, it can overcome a lower ACT or SAT score, it can overcome a class rank. when college reps read these, when the admissions officers read these essays, I can just tell you, it will go in the no pile, it'll go in the maybe pile, or it will go in the accept pile. So it's important that your son or daughter hooks them in the first paragraph and then answers the prompt, but writes personally from their own life experience, how it influenced them, how it changed them. And most of these essays, the prompts are about a pivotal point that could have changed their life. I would suggest you read them, although a lot of seniors don't want their parents reading them, I'm just going to tell you. But if you can, I would read them, and then you can proof it too. Any help I can get would be great. But remember, colleges can spot a mile away an essay that's been written by a parent. So please don't be tempted to do that or rewrite it for them. I want to talk a little bit now about reporting your test scores, ACT and SAT. As you know, the college application process is going to be different this year. Most of them are waiving the ACT test and SAT test. So if your child's score is not what it should be, that's a phew for you. If it's one where they're going to excel, then you should go ahead and take that test. Where it will make a difference, your ACT score, is that the benchmark for money, for scholarship money, is a 28. What that means is if their ACT is lower than a 28, it's going to be harder to get scholarship money. There may be some, but it won't be as generous as you would like it to be. 28 and above opens them up for much more money. So in that regard, they still need to take the test. And if it comes down between 5 applicants who have good letters of recommendation and good essays, and they have to make a decision, they will look at that. So for us, for Resurrection Christian School, an ACT or an SAT is a graduation requirement, so everybody has to take it. Now, you should get that scheduled fast because everyone across the nation is scrambling to get their child registered for an ACT or SAT because of COVID. So please look into that. You can go to their website and find the test dates and get registered. The SAT and ACT scores are listed at the bottom of our transcripts, which most colleges will accept. There are some that won't, and they will tell you we need an official copy of your ACT score, and then you will have to write and request one. And you have to request those through the testing agency. At the time of your senior's ACT or SAT test, they should request their scores to be sent to us automatically, and then their top 5 college choices at this time, because that will save you time and money, and they'll automatically have it, and it doesn't cost you any money at that point in time. I want to talk about requesting a transcript. Oftentimes, the students will come to me and say, I need a transcript. This is after the application process. And they have to request everything through Naviance and Common App. So since we're using the Common Application, which is used by 95% of all colleges, they need to request that through Common App, and here's why. If you request through Common App or Naviance, then it's traceable. Colleges will come back to us and say, well, we still need this transcript for John Doe, and you haven't sent it to us. But through Common App, it'll timestamp when we send it, and then it timestamps when that university receives the transcript. So I just wanted to make you aware of that your son or daughter, when we send these, when I send the email home to you that says submit, today's the submit day, or you have the rest of October to submit your application, that means that they have to request everything through Common App. They have to request their letters of recommendation, their transcripts, and anything else they may need through Common App. So make sure that you check their Common App before they submit, that they've requested transcripts, they've requested letters of recommendation, because we're not going to know automatically to send it if they haven't requested it. They also need to keep current in Common App the number of schools they're going to send their application to. It can be as many as 10. We don't care. We just need that complete list in Common App, and we're going to work on that in Senior Capstone. So it should be complete by the time we tell them they can submit their application, but it's something that you could also check. Now, some of you are requesting transcripts now. We don't do that. I'm protecting you because you can go ahead and apply to whatever college you want. it won't do you any good because we won't send their letters of recommendation or transcripts until it is submit time. So at fall break, I will release those the week before fall break, and we will submit all the transcripts and all the letters of recommendation and everything else that that senior needs to go to those 5 or however many universities or colleges you're applying to. The reason for that is once you have applied to a college before that, it's like a radar that goes out amongst the college communities. And they know that John Doe has applied to CSU, so we're probably not even going to consider him. We're not going to waste our money because you did it so early. When you apply that early, that's saying, okay, that's a flag. I want to go to that college more than any other college. And so other universities will put him behind or her behind the rest of the pile, going after the kids that have not made a decision yet. And I'm not saying you made a decision, but that's the way they read your early application to whatever school it is that you're thinking of. So we will not release any transcripts until the week before fall break. And then we'll send them to the universities that are listed in Common App. So there again, I'm trying to weave back. You have to keep Common App updated on your universities. If you just need one for yourself, we will give you an unofficial one, and they just have to go to Mrs. McCarthy in the office and ask for one. And we're happy to do that. But we won't send official ones, and the colleges need official ones. All right, the only other thing I think I need to talk about is NCAA and NAIA, and there's a clearinghouse for both. Just go to their website. If you're a junior parent, this is when you should get him signed up with those organizations so that he can play college ball, or she. And if you're a senior parent, you are behind the ball. That should have already been done their junior year, so you need to get at it quickly because that window is closing. It's important that all parents and families apply for FAFSA. Colleges will look to see if you applied before they give you a financial award. The open date now for FAFSA has changed from January 1st to October 1st, and you're just going to use your 2019 taxes. So make sure on October 1st you start that process because FAFSA gives the money first come, first serve. If you wait till January, you're going to get the tail end of the money that's left over. If you wait until March, you're probably going to get very little, if any. So those that are in the greatest financial need should apply right away on October 1st. And you will be given a PIN number. You need to write that down someplace where you won't forget it because that PIN number cannot be replaced. It cannot be re-given to you, and it will track your child through his 4 years of college. So make sure you write the PIN number down because it will stay with you. And I can't emphasize strongly enough to start October 1st so that you're in the running for the most money possible. And the things that they can award are Pell Grants, financial aid assistance. Every college student in the nation can be awarded the $5,500 loan per year for college. Now, we have 4 children, all grown, but when they went to college, we made them take out that loan. So when they graduated, it was $5,000 then. So when they graduated from college, they each had a loan of $20,000 they had to pay back. Now, that was good for them because it made them accountable to their grades. It made them accountable to develop a good work ethic because they knew that they were going to have to pay that back. And if they didn't finish in 4 years, that just soon became $25,000. And so for our family, it was critically important that we help them understand the cost of a college education, their benefit in finishing in 4 years, and how an extra year can impact their loan package. So that's my opinion, and if I had to send them again, I would do the same thing. I would make them take that out. And they all had work-study jobs or they worked in college, so they really did have to know how to manage their time. They had to know how to manage their social life. They had to manage all the things and decisions they had to make so that they could finish in 4 years, which they did. I want to thank you for listening to me tonight. I hope I've been a benefit to you. I hope the information that I've given you will be helpful. Children think you're stupid now. I'm still stupid, but my own children think I'm pretty smart now. But when we went through this, it was a dogfight to get them to finish this process. So my goal is to keep your life peaceful with your seniors as much as I can, to let them be mad at me when I have deadlines and become a mama bear when they don't meet those deadlines, and keep your relationship stable with your senior. I think God prepares us when students get to their senior year. They're spreading their wings. They don't want the restrictions. They don't want the rules. They think they're adults. They really do think they're adults, and they really kind of do think you're stupids. I'm sorry. But you do come out of that storm as very smart parents that they will dearly love and honor. We just have to get them through this year. So it's college application time. We will be done before fall break. I will send you an email saying, okay, you can start submitting your applications. I'm sure tonight I have missed some of the important things maybe you need to know that I didn't cover or just circumvented those questions. Please know that you can email me, you can call me. I'm happy to go over that with you over the phone or through an email. I don't think I can have one-on-one meetings with parents yet, but I'm more than happy to help in any way. My whole purpose is to enable your senior to get into the college of their choice, their dream school, to follow their dreams, to be successful, to be happy, to be able to follow their dreams and make you proud. The number one thing seniors tell me is, my fear is that I might fail and disappoint my parents. So keep that in mind, love them, and know I'm here to help in any way. Thank you very much.